What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well, and we are getting back on these left tackles. Again, we are now down into the day 3 range, so we've got a couple videos to hit here, and then we'll be done with the position. Reminder, I'm going to be streaming on StreamYard later tonight, so if you don't already have the app downloaded, I've been told that the issues with the chat from last week have been fixed. So if you have the Bleacher Report app, you should be able to make an account, and when the show is posted, you should be able to join it and participate in the chat. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump right in with these tackles, starting with an interesting one, Anthony Belton of NC State. Anthony Belton definitely gained some momentum as a potential third-round guy, a potential day 2 guy, but currently the aggregate has him back in day 3, early day 3. He is a bigger guy, 6'6", 336 pounds, so very, very heavy. Pretty long arms. He's got tackle arms. He's not particularly athletic. He is more athletic than you would expect him to be for his size, but he's not great as far as moving goes. His play over the last couple years has been mostly good. Last year, he was able to get his average number of pressures allowed per game down to 1 after it was close to 2 the previous year, so he did make strides. Did pick up a lot of penalties over these last couple years, worth noting. So he's very aggressive and violent as a blocker. Very has the mentality you're looking for from an offensive lineman. He moves better than you would expect for a guy who's 336 pounds. I wouldn't expect the world of him there, but he does move pretty well. He can overcome height by sinking his hips. He is pretty good at getting low despite being so tall. He can clear out run lanes with his leg drive. He is able to clear out big run lanes by just driving his legs into the ground and pushing guys. His punches do a good job of stalling out pass rushers. And it's just hard to get around him because he's so big. It's like there's so much ground to cover just to get around him. Now, I think that when he's in his pass slides, momentum kind of forces him to go out too far. And then he has a hard time covering his inside, so you can beat him with an outside-inside move pretty easily. And he is, at the end of the day, just kind of by nature, a little bit of a slower guy laterally, so a speedier rusher is probably still going to be able to get to the outside of him somebody like a James Pierce Jr. would probably beat him to the outside just because he's so fast. Doesn't really have very good change of direction skills, so in terms of like reactive athleticism, there's not a lot there. He is put in space on occasion, and there is some positivity there, but he regularly misses his targets when he's in space. And his hand usage is kind of poor. He doesn't place his hands very well. He doesn't use his hands well when he's engaged, so that's something he's going to have to learn. So, a lot of potential here. He's the size of a guard, and he is athletic enough to be a tackle, but I do think he's going to end up on the right side. I think he will end up as a right tackle in the NFL, and I think that there is still a lot to work on here. I'll take him in the 3rd round. It's a little bit of a roll of the dice, but I think his power is going to work really well on the right side, and I think that his movement skills are enough to cut it, and I think some of the things he's not very good at, he can work on. So I would say 3rd round is about right for Mr. Belton. Okay, moving along to our next guy here. This one's really interesting. Hollin Pierce. Hollin Pierce. You're going to want to sit down for this one. Rutgers, Scarlet Knights, 6'8" and 3/8. One of the tallest tackles ever. 6'8" and 3/8. I think that's taller than Stone Forsythe. And Stone Forsythe was very tall. 341 pounds, one of the heaviest tackles ever. 341 pounds would put him right up there with the heaviest tackles of all time. 36-inch arms, unheard of almost. I don't think there's been a 36-inch armed tackle in my time of doing these in-depth draft evaluations. 96th percentile. So right off the bat, you're like, this guy is special. This guy is very special. Currently projected as a 4th round pick. PFF thought he played really well last year for Rutgers. 81.5 grade, 1 sack allowed. Total of 21 pressures, which isn't great, but it's still pretty good. Cut down his penalties all the way to 2 as well. I mean, it's not hard to figure out what makes this guy interesting. His size and length, you almost never see stuff like this. He can overwhelm rushers with his mass. Like, just as a rusher, if you get into him, he's so big and he's so long, he can just you just might not have really a shot at getting off of him. He's just so big. It's really hard to get around him because his arms are so long. Like, you can try to beat him to the edge, you can try to beat him to the top of your rush, and then he's just going to stick his arms out there, and there's just going to be an opportunity for him to recover that most players wouldn't have. I think he is a good run blocker as well. He's got enough power to clear out space and use his leg drive to open up holes. So Hollin Pierce is bringing some clear positives to the table here, and that potential, it really does feel like it's almost through the roof here. Now, there are downsides with this. His pass rush slides are slow and sloppy, so you can pretty easily beat him on a trip around the edge. Tends to lose balance into contact and end up on the ground. His contact balance isn't very good. I think he keeps his feet too close together. Gives up the inside trying to keep up in his slides. He has to work so hard to get the outside that he can occasionally give up the inside. He's lucky that his arms are so long. They allow him to make up for those a little easier. And despite him being really big, his anchor is not that good. So this is all on top of the obvious issue with being 6'8" and 3/8, by the way. There's a big potential problem there. So there's a lot that needs to go right here, right? Like, you can't really think about sliding this guy inside because he's so tall, but you also have to acknowledge there are going to be some difficulties with him trying to play tackle. So I think he's going to end up a right tackle personally. I think the right side is going to be a little bit better for him. I think that his skill set will be better suited for right tackle. But he's got 36-inch arms, man. You're not going to find this very often. A player like this comes around once every 5 years, it feels like. There's something there that you can do with that. So I know late third round is a risk, but I think it's worth the risk. There's something special here. This size, this length, you got to be willing to invest in that. You got to be willing to take a shot on something like that. So I would go late third round, and I may end up regretting it, but I'll try to figure it out. All right. Next guy is going to be Jalen Rivers of Miami. Last guy for this video, couldn't find his age. Typical size for a modern tackle, I think. 6'5" 3/4, 319 pounds. Nice long arms, almost 35-inch arms, 10-inch hands. Did not test very well. Mixed testing for sure. Not particularly athletic. Not that he's a tiny guy either. Aggregate puts him in the very late 4th or very early 5th. PFF has him in the 4th, so does CBS, so there is some momentum around him being a relatively early pick in day 3. Pretty good play for Miami the last couple years. Cleaned up his pass protection numbers pretty well the last season. Never graded out great, but graded out good. So some of the strengths with Jalen Rivers would be he's very strong, he's very stout, he's able to hold up, he's able to really do a good job of just holding his ground against power. His length gives him an automatic advantage. He's able to be the first guy to get his hands into the other guy because his arms are so long. So that's going to give him a leg up. He knows how to utilize his arm length to get what he wants in these engagements. His anchor is really firm. He's not going to be easily moved by a bull rusher. So if you're looking for somebody to protect from power rushers, he's going to be good at that. He's a pretty good puncher. His punches are skilled. They're effective. They land with authority, and they help stall momentum. His hand latch is hard to get off of you. He's got a nice firm latch. He's just not very good in zone, and that's going to be the holdup here for me and a lot of other teams. I don't think he's going to be very good in space, and I don't think his pass rush slides are very good either. When you ask him to move, when you ask him to get away from where he initially sets up, the further away he moves, the less effective he's going to be. He's going to be one of those guys that you need to leave in the phone booth. Pass rush slides are pretty chaotic, and they're pretty easy to beat if you're an edge rusher. that is using not power. If you're using moves or speed, you can probably get him. He's been hurt a lot in his career as well, a lot of injury issues. He doesn't generate a lot of run blocking movement. He is strong, he is stout, but his leg drive doesn't really kick in the way you would hope. And like I said, he needs to stay in the phone booth. So he's so disappointing athletically. I wonder if he has to slide inside, even though he's got the length to play tackle. And if he slides inside, like what are we doing here? He's not a mover in the run game. He's going to have to get stronger and be able to move people in the run game better. So then you get into the injury stuff. Then you get into the fact that he's had a lot of injury issues in his career. And I think that he is kind of getting pushed down to about the 6th. I don't think I could take him in the 4th or 5th. I think that he is a 6th round pick. There are a lot of problems here. And then through all that, he struggles to stay healthy. Tell me what you guys think down below. I will see you guys later. Remember, stream on Bleacher Report tonight. I will see you guys soon. Go Hawks.